Hey, what's up, guys? Sick Somebody here. It's a new year and it's another episode. Tell me, is Mfundo Vilakazi ready for the big time? Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
The DStv Premiership is on a break and the AFCON is around the corner. But guess what stole the headlines this past weekend? The Carling All-Stars versus Stellenbosch. So that's like the team the fans voted for versus the team that actually won the Carling Cup, and which is Stellenbosch. And congratulations to them. But, Cunha was out there making saves and Antonio van Wyk was starring for Stellies. Orlando Pirates product Ngidi as well was playing really well at fullback. Really watching him. But the one that I was looking forward to the most, the one that they voted for, the youngster, teenager, Mfundo Vilakazi, Kaizer Chiefs player, from the dusty tournaments of the Phillies games to being signed by Kaizer Chiefs. And then after that, he's voted by the fans with all the PSL players. This guy does not have any experience in the DStv Premiership, but they voted for him. And guess what? He scores against Stellenbosch. What a trip this young man is having. And the question I have to ask is Vilakazi ready for the DStv Premiership? Like, is he ready to play games there? I don't think he's ready to start, but I do think he should be in the first team for sure. He's got the confidence, he's got the arrogance, he's definitely got the ability. My only critique I will say to you, young man, which I hope you are watching, is the fact that keep things simple. Like, don't now do all these tricks to try and impress the fans, because I can see him. He tries doing these shibobos, spinning around with the ball. It's not necessary. You shouldn't worry about what we think. Not at all, man. Nope. Those tricky passes, leave them out. Leave them out. Your goal should be going international. Not us. International. You should be wanting to play in the Premier League. You should be wanting to play in Italy. In 2 years' time, you got to be out of here. You have to be out of here. And for me, Kaizer Chiefs, get the environment right, because this kid needs to improve, because already we're flopping with Mashiane, and we're flopping with Ngobo, and we're flopping with Shabalala. So we got to get this one right. Ngezana was a pass, but in 2 years' time, you kid must be out of here. I've been looking forward to having a conversation with this man. I have to tell you, man, because of where he comes from and where he's at right now. I never thought it would happen. The public relations officer of AmaZulu Pro Philani is here. And I simply asked him, where do you stand on the Lau Foster situation? Okay, guys, another big guest on Playing the Field with Shakes, someone that I highly respect and is highly respected on social media, has a hand in the footy Twitter games that we hear about quite a lot, and is not short of an opinion, even telling my football club that they must go for Rooney if they want a coach at Arsenal. I saw that comment, and the AmaZulu PR officer, Pro Philani, how are you, sir?
Good afternoon, my brother. Good afternoon to your listeners as well. It's a great honor and a privilege for me to be on your platform.
No, man, it's a pleasure to have you on our platform, man, purely because of what you're doing and where you come from and where you're going as well. Football is on a break now. I'm kind of wondering, what is the PR officer going to be doing in the break?
I'm also on leave. I'm going back to work next week, Monday.
Okay.
With us, it's non-stop. One thing I can tell you for sure, professional football is very, very hard. It's hard work all the way. When you see big brands like your Orlando Pirates, your Kaizer Chiefs, your Mamelodi Sundowns, and us, of course, when you see us on all the spaces with all the corporate sponsors or partners that we have, it's not something that happened overnight, or it's not something that happened because of good reputation or a huge following. It goes through a lot of stages and hard work that we put. When everybody is relaxing, we are up and down working and looking for opportunities and partners that can partner with the club all the time.
No, 100%. I think also something that didn't happen overnight as well. AmaZulu nearly broke the internet last year when they announced that they have a new PR officer, and it was you. And I must tell you something, man. I was really happy, because I was like, wow, it felt like one of our own is now like being recognized, So how did that come about, man?
Let me tell you something. When I arrived at the club and I was introduced to the rest of the squad, the technical team asked me, because they are from Spain, the head coach and the first assistant, they asked me, tell us who you are, because it's very rare for this club to have someone that breaks the internet in one day. Your profile is giving us a hard time. Who are you? I was like, no, man, I'm just an ordinary boy. Grew up in Devon, born and bred in KZN, that just has a passion for football, that respects the game so much. And for me, when the application or when the post was advertised, I was really, really hesitant to apply, because I thought there were people that were highly qualified, people that were more popular, that I strongly believe that the club will go for. Because in this day and age, people are not employed because of the amount of work that they've done, or with the amount of work that they're doing. They are employed because of popularity. So I thought popularism was going to win this one, and the club was going to go for someone that is more popular, that is well known throughout South Africa. But the assessment process was very fair. I was given multiple opportunities and multiple interviews with different level of management. And at the end of the day, the president of the club said he has never spoken to someone that understood and is very well informed about the affairs of the South African football and Amazon Football Club at the same time. So that's how I landed the job.
No, man, I totally hear that. The last question I have regarding this part of the conversation is, how different is it being on the other side? I mean, you are now like inside the football realms. Of course, you've always had connections with people. You've always done communication, YouTube conversations with people in the industry as well. But now, like, you're officially inside. I mean, how does it feel being on the inside?
Let me tell you something. Fake news are annoying. Fake news are annoying. When you read that the club is talking to this player or that player, or this player is leaving or that player is this, it's very annoying when you know the truth. And sometimes we sit with these individuals and we read these tweets and these Facebook posts and these stories together, and you say, have you ever read this? Have you ever saw this? And the players will be like, they don't respond to these kind of things, because they are now fully aware that their job will always be surrounded by a lot of speculations. And trust me, it's very frustrating, it's very annoying, it's very irritating to read a story about your player being linked with another club when you know that a player has got 3, 4, or 3.5 years remaining on his contract, and suddenly he's been linked with a team, with a bigger team, or in a team in another province. It's frustrating. It frustrates everybody, from club president to players themselves, even the teammates as well, because they are in this thing together. They are fighting together for the pride of the club and for the pride of the province. When they read that one of their own is talking about leaving the club, it also puts them in a very awkward position. But it takes very mature players to bring each other down and say, look, these things will always happen in football, especially when you are on form. All that is important for you is to keep your head high and make sure that you perform your best. And sometimes these players, they get affected by the national team snap. Don't ever think that no player doesn't want to represent Bafana Bafana. They all want to play for Bafana Bafana.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, actually, now that you're getting onto the Carling Cup initiative that was happening with regards to the Carling All-Stars going up against Stellies as well, the initiative itself, in terms of having for fans to vote and having to get the players that they want to sort of face the winners of the Carling Cup, what do you think of the initiative itself?
This is a great initiative, especially for the players. I think should this initiative be carried on for a number of years, I think it's going to benefit players greatly, because it gave them an opportunity to earn money, especially the MTC kids. You know, there were 2 MTC kids from my club that went to play in this game, and they both played very well. Ngiti and Zikali. Before they went, myself and GDC head coach we sat down with them and we spoke about the importance of going to this match and what it means for their careers and what it means for them to be seen at that stage and to rub shoulders with the Itumele Mkune, Philip Ndlondo. By the way, Philip Ndlondo is an Amazulu graduate. He was part of our MTC. To rub shoulders with Philip Ndlondo, you rub shoulders with Ashley Dupria. At least Ramampatlela, you train with them from time to time. Ben Motswari, Victor Letualo, Augustine Kwem, you train with them sometimes. Whenever the national team, whenever the first team coach wants a younger player to come and join the first team. But for me, it was all about that to say, go and rub shoulders with these players, and you'll understand what it means to be inside the dressing room with Itumele Nkune. But this is the biggest player in the country, whether you like it or not, whether you like him or don't. But you must understand that when you are with Itumele Nkune, you are with one of the best footballers to ever grace this country. When Dr. Kaizer Motaung talks about the best 5 Kaizer Chiefs players that he has ever seen in the club's history, Itumele Nkune is number 3 on his list. It shows how highly respected this guy is.
Now, there was a kid that played over the weekend as well that was voted for. You mentioned his name. Scored a free kick. I think Sage Stevens made him look like a superstar in the free kick. But the celebrations that everybody could see, and the fans, and even for him himself, to go from the tournaments that he was playing to being signed for Kaizer Chiefs, to now playing within with these players like Itumele Nkune and Mphahlele as well, Mfundo Vilakazi, Ngidi as well. Are these players ready for DSTV Premiership football?
Listen, I watched Mfundo Vilakazi play for Doron Corp students. I hope I'm pronouncing them right.
Yeah.
I think it was the Phillies games, I think it was the Phillies games last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
When I saw that boy, I said, this is the boy that needs to play DSTV Premiership.
Wow.
And when he said he wants to play for Sundowns, as a Sundowns fan, I was happy, but at the same time, I was not happy because he was not going to progress as quick as he should if he goes to Sundowns. But when he went to Chiefs, I said, no, this is one of the teams that always give younger players an opportunity to play. They gave Unkosi Mpilengoba an opportunity. They gave Happy Mashiane an opportunity. They gave Uduba an opportunity. They're giving Samgelo Zwane an opportunity. So Mfundo, they gave Kune as a 21-year-old an opportunity. They gave Bruce Mvuma an opportunity. I said, if you go to Chiefs, Chiefs will definitely give him an opportunity. But to say he's ready or not, it will depend on how he handles the fame. Because what lets down these younger boys is the fame that comes with playing for Kaizer Chiefs. I don't know if he can handle it, but if he's got a good support system at home, if he's got a good support system inside the dressing room, if he's got a good support system from people that manage him and the club management as well, believe me, he can play a cameo role. He can do your 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and as soon as his confidence becomes at the required level, Mfundo Vilakazi will turn South African football upside down. He's going to be the biggest star ever since Kaizer Chiefs released Isaac Kungwane in 1992-1993 time frame.
Now, I mean, the environment has to be good, like what you're saying, and in terms of who he has around him, and as well as also having to deal with the fame as well. Are you maybe slightly worried as well? Because when you roll off the names of Ngobo as well, Nkosimpili Ngobo, the career-wise, you sort of think it has stagnated a little bit. Chabalala's no more in the frame as he was before. Are you worried in terms of Mashiane? I don't know what happens with his career. Are you worried with regards to, Kaizer Chiefs have to get the environment right in order to get the best out of Mfundo Vilakazi?
Playing for Kaizer Chiefs is not an easy job. It's not an easy job. It's not meant for everyone. And I believe those boys, they're at the right club, but it's all up to them to how they handle this fame, this new fame that they find themselves in. Because before, you will go to a mall and no one will recognize you. And all of a sudden, when they go to malls, everybody wants to take pictures with them. It's a newfound game. Before, you were ugly, you were unknown. Now, you are handsome, you are called sexy. All the girls want you. So how you handle all those kind of things, that's what makes or breaks these young professional football players.
Now I've got about 3-4 questions left. Bafana, the bonus structures have just been announced. If they win the tournament, they take it all. They take the $7 million, all of it. If they don't have anything. Now, my problem with that, bro, is that I look at the squad. I don't expect it to go all the way and win it because there's obviously bigger teams that are there. But let's say this team makes it to the semifinals. That's a good achievement for them, but they walk away with nothing still if they make it that far. Do you think those structures are fair?
Well, I understand where the Football Association is coming from.
Yeah.
You need to reward people that bring the trophy home.
Yeah.
You really need to reward people that bring the trophy home. You can't reward people for finishing fourth or third, or for finishing second for that matter. They need to bring the trophy home. And I think from an association point of view, it's fair. But from players' perspective, when you look at it, you're fourth, you're going to a tournament, you're an underdog. You fight all the way to the last four. It means for 2023, 2024, you are the fourth or the third best team in the country, and you walk out with nothing. And it sounds unfair from a player's perspective, but it is a motivation as well to say, if you work hard enough, if you work together as a team, I just hope those bonuses are divided equally among the 23 members, or if 26, if there are 26, at least each player will walk away with about 4 million rand. But if 23, each player will walk away with about 5 million rand. And that's a lot of money. And some of the players, I don't think they will ever earn a contract that much. You're playing about 7 games and you walk away with 5 million rand. That is the biggest motivation any professional footballer can hope for. So I just hope that they remain united as a team and they go out there, because I've also predicted that they will get as far as the semi-finals. I just hope they disappoint me and the rest of the South Africans and win this tournament for themselves.
I'd love that too if they won it as well. This has been a big talking point. I'd love to hear your opinion on this one. Lyle Foster. I mean, he's obviously not able to be called up due to mental issues, but he's carrying on playing for Burnley. Apparently, he still needs to stay that side with the doctors. But of course, South Africans are disappointed at the fact that, wow, he can play there, but he's not playing for South Africa at the AFCON. What is your take regarding this, man?
People who have never suffered a mental breakdown or mental illness will always look at the Lyle Foster situation as a disappointment. But I fully understand where the player is coming from, having worked with professional football for the past couple of months. And I understand where the club is coming from, to say that sometimes the environment is all that it takes for a player to break down or to even to make it, because the national team camps. I had a privilege of being in the national team camp for the duration of the COSAFA tournament, and I understand the pressure that is there, and I understand how difficult it is to survive in a national team camp. And it could be that the national team could be a platform that also takes him 10 steps backwards. I would have loved to have our best player in the team. I would have loved to have him in the team. But it's so unfortunate that at this particular moment, at this particular time, the boy is struggling with mental illness. That's why South Africans to accept whatever it is that the band is saying and let it go. Just let him recover. Let's have a fully fit mentally Lyle Foster at the World Cup. Let him recover fully. Let him take care of his mental illness. And let's support him. Sometimes when a player is not part of us, it doesn't mean that he has rejected us, but is looking after himself, not only for himself, but for the national team as well. So we want to have a better player in the future. Let him rest. Let him take his time. As soon as the player is okay, then we can have him back. Because still, whether he likes it or not, 2025, we have another AFCON. We want him to play in the tournament as well. So let him rest this one, and we'll have a fitter and a better player in the near future.
No, 100%. Mental illness, a very serious cause. And the last question I have, Philani, I ask every guest of mine this question at the end of it. They answer it however they want. There's no wrong answers. Where is South African football for you right now, Pro?
Yo, what a tough question.
Yeah.
But if you look at a team like Sekhukhune United, unknown team, if you put it that way, formed in 2019-2020, as I'm talking to you now, they are playing in the CAF Confederations Cup. You look at a team like Mamelodi Sundowns, they've qualified, I think this is a record in Africa, together with Wydad and Al Ahly. They've qualified, I think, 7 times in a row. For the group stages of the CAF Champions League, to have a South African team in that space, it means a lot. Mamelodi Sundowns ladies are African champions, and you look at the world ranking, they are joint number 19th. It says a lot about South African football. You look at the way our ladies played at the World Cup as well, it says a lot about our South African football. You look at the ladies that just joined teams in Mexico. Mexico is one of the best leagues in the world when it comes to women's football. It says a lot about South African football. And you look at the quality of players that are progressing from the ABC Moegoe League to the Moegoe Foundation Champions League. to the DStv Premiership, you look at the quality of youngsters that are playing there, you look at the quality of tournaments that you are playing. We just had the under-15 national team going to play in Poland last year. It shows you that South African football is taking steps in the right direction. The most unfortunate thing is that South African football followers want instant results. They want instant gratification. Instead of being patient and being supportive of the project that is South African football, they want to see results now. They want to win AFCON now. They want to win COSAFA now. They want to win World Cups now. Football, unfortunately, it's one game, the one sport that you cannot cheat. You need to make sure that you cover all your grounds, you make sure that you cover all your spaces, and you make sure that you pay attention to details so that by the time you get into international stages, you don't choke. We all get disappointed when the Proteas choke, but we also all get disappointed when Bafana Bafana loses a football match. But trust me, you can't cheat the game. You need to make sure that everything is in order, is in place. And then the Football Association as well needs to come to party in terms of finding investments for the national teams so that we can produce as many players that we need for the country, and we export as many players as well. We need to make sure that coaching education improves so that we produce quality coaches that train quality players, and we export quality players to international community. So for me, South African football is at the growth stage, and we are heading towards maturity where everyone is at the same level, and we understand what needs to be done for South African football to get into a global stage where we go back to what we used to do in the mid-90s era. I hope I answered you, and I hope you understand, just like Steve Compel.
I totally understand. You gave it balance, my friend. You gave it balance, and I just want to take this time to say thank you, man, for coming through. I must say as well, man, you're one of the inspirations, man, for some of us who started from nowhere and wanting to sort of make our stamp within South African football, make our impact in South African football. I want you to keep going, man. Please do not give up. Please keep going, keep inspiring, because some of us are looking to you, man.
People don't know that when you used to post your clips, 30 seconds clips, 1 minute clips, you gave a lot of us confidence that we can do it. We can do it with our broken English. We can do it with our ugly faces. But Sheikh Rampedi is a pioneer that we all looked up to, and that inspired us to do this thing greatly. It's yourself, your Lekokos of this world, your Skepe Masebane of this world, your Andile Ngubes, your Tabiso Mosias. You are an inspiration to a generation of our Philani and the rest of the guys out there that wants to make it big in this world. Thank you so much. You are highly appreciated, my guy. And may this platform grow from strength to strength. And I can't wait to have a live video conversation about South African football with Sheikh Rampedi.
My man, that one is already scheduled. You can already put it there. It is definitely scheduled. But, bro, thank you so much, man. I wish Amazulu all the best. Now I'm a bit of a second supporter of Amazulu. Well, obviously they're number 2, but I'm supporting them in some kind of a way. But do keep well, man.
We don't have a problem of being number 2. Like I always tell people, you can always love your Chiefs, Pirates, your Sundowns, but you must know that right there, Amazulu are your second favorite team. So don't worry. You are family. You are part of us, my brother.
I appreciate it, man. Please do keep well, yeah?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Have a lovely afternoon.
Take care, man.
Who was up to par and who became our star? But also, who fell short in this game we all love? Let's find out on Moegoe of the Week.
The stars for me this week has to be the fans who voted. So, not just because they voted for Kuna and all that, it's the fact that they voted for the DDC players. Those youngsters needed to be given a chance, and they were given a chance, and they scored goals, and they impressed. So I think the fans for me, without a shadow of a doubt, are the stars of the week. As for the Moegoe, Sage Stevens, Kamaheza. You know why? You know what? I mean, one thing I'll give you credit for is the fact that you gave Mfundo Vilakazi that moment to score a goal, right? But what were you doing trying to save it like that? I thought there was a huge deflection, but when the replay came, I just thought, Sage, sorry, man, I love you, but you're the Moegoe of the week.
It's time for Bet of the Week. Get ready to win big by placing the right bets on the right games.
For this week's Bet of the Week, I've got 4 games, guys, and you won't believe the odds. Game number 1, Middlesbrough going up against Chelsea. I've gone over 1.5. Lazio going up against Roma. I've gone Lazio or draw and under 3.5 goals. I don't see a lot of goals being scored there. And then the other game is Liverpool versus Fulham. I've gone Liverpool and over 1.5. And the final game on this bet slip, Mali against Bafana. That's Bafana's first game at the AFCON. I've gone a draw or Bafana and under 2.5 goals. Woo! 4 games, the odds 6.77, 6 times the money back. But we don't end it there. Guys, the bet slip from last week is still ongoing. There's 2 games left. You can still cash out if you want, but I'm definitely not. And if you want to win with me, click on the link below.
Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za.
We've come to the end of the show. Just want to thank you guys for joining me. AFCON is around the corner. Bafana is going to be there. I'm excited. But before you do go, please like, please subscribe, and please hit the notification bell so you're notified for future episodes.
Jax again, he's gone big, he's gone huge, it's an catch and there is! You little beauty! Again, there's no spillage. It's clouting it all over.
At night I can still hear the screams of joy, elation, happiness, pure happiness. Screams that should have been mine. Ah! But now, like, what I do is scream into the pillows, I relive it all. Of the 240 balls bowled, I turned my back for one. Nah. And as I turned to be lathered in suntan lotion by my girlfriend, I heard the leather crack against the willow. Tried to turn. My body wouldn't allow me. My professional masseuse of a girlfriend had me in some suntan lotion massage trance. Why? The guy next to me burnt to a crisp. And yet, a one-handed catch richer. The only one who burnt that day was me. Can you hear them? There they are again. The screams. Are you there?
You'll be screaming your head off when you get your share of 2 million rand at the Betway SA20 with a clean one-handed catch.
Desmond, Mike, Benny, Theodore, Faisal, share with me.